Good afternoon, everybody. Spurs fans all over the world. It's 1 o'clock in Ireland and the UK, and God knows what time it is with you, but I hope you're having a good day. This is Newsbeat from THFC Till I Die, the home of Tottenham past, present, and God knows what sort of a future. Joining me today is my co-host, Ellie. How are you today, Ellie?
I'm really well, and there's a lot of good news coming out of Spurs lately. Some really good positive stuff. So I'm looking forward to the show, Philip.
Yes, indeed. It's another day, another lack of manager, though. That's the only thing we could do with getting this the director of football and manager situation sorted out. But anyway, we'll see what happens over the next few days. It does appear to be a little bit of movement, all right, but how positive it is, we will find out in due course. So we'll just say hello to a few people that are in the chat before we get going. And the first one up is Colin FTS. Oops, hang on. There he goes. Is FTSN Colin. How are you, Colin? Up in Manchester, getting ready for your match tonight, I think. United are playing. And good afternoon, all. Good afternoon to you as well. And Lisa's in the house saying, good morning, stroke afternoon, everybody. Looking forward to my daily dose of Newsbeat. Well, I hope we have a bit of news for you today, Lisa, that you'll take with positivity. And Peter M is saying, hello to everyone from sunny South London. Oh, very good.
Oh, lovely.
Good. Yeah, sun's not shining here, but South London, that's Crystal Palace territory, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be anywhere, really, couldn't it?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, and Corey Boy is in the house as well, saying good day, all.
Corey Boy from Brighton.
Yeah, so anyway, I suppose the first thing we do, and this is nothing to do with Tottenham. I mean, I'm just looking at our potential opponents in the Premiership next season, and one of them is going to be either Luton Town or Coventry. I don't think any of us could have predicted that. I mean, that is quite amazing.
I'll have to take the Coventry colours off since they beat us in the FA Cup as well.
I still haven't forgiven them for 1987, so we need to pay them back whenever they do, if they do get up. But I mean, it's quite amazing that both Sunderland and Middlesbrough were beaten by, let's regard, two smaller teams is the best way of putting it, you know?
I know.
And it just shows you the unpredictability of football, really. I mean, I would have put money on Sunderland Middlesbrough playoff at Wembley, and now we don't have it. Yeah.
I think in the League One playoffs, it's Peterborough 4-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday as well. Another big giant who's gone
unbelievable. To That's tonight
as well.
I think the second leg of that is tonight. That should be very interesting. Yeah,
I know.
But it just shows you, it's a funny old game. I mean, I have to laugh. I mean, I'm not laugh, but when you see that the entrance to Luton Town's main stand is it's in a row of terraced houses. And the opening is in the middle. It's just, it's the romance of football. It's brilliant. It really is.
I know.
I think we'll all be shouting for Luton to come up. I will anyway.
And when I go to watch Spurs ladies play at Brisbane Road, there's flats right on the right-hand side, and they overlook, and everybody comes out on their balcony and watches.
Yes,
crazy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And
DJ
Sam. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. DJ Sam was saying good afternoon. And Colin is rightly correcting me here. I said that Manchester United were playing tonight. They're not actually. It's my bad. It's Newcastle,
Newcastle, Brighton.
I keep getting mixed up with these teams going for the top four, Anyway. It's Brighton tonight.
Yeah.
And anyway, this is Ben Kaufman. How are you, Ben? Afternoon, everyone. Another day being embarrassed by Tottenham. Purple and gold until Tottenham were sold. Anything happened today, Ben, that we haven't heard of? I mean, it's just another day in Tottenham land.
Oh, dear.
And Tequila 316. Hi, Tequila. Luton getting to the final, boys, where I live. I will never hear the end of it. I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite incredible. I think Dermot was saying to us earlier there that I think Coventry were bottom of the league in October.
Yeah, and Mark Robbins took over, the ex-Man United player.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, quite amazing. Quite amazing. And also, I have to say, I watched the first half of Manchester City and Real Madrid last night, and I have to say, it was probably the greatest demolition job I've seen in a long, long time. They were unbelievable, Manchester City.
Unbelievable. And Real Madrid just could not live with them.
They couldn't live with them.
Couldn't. No, the sheer pace on their passing and accuracy, brilliant.
the saddest part for me last night was seeing Luka Modric being taken off, which rarely happens.
Yeah.
But he was having a real nightmare last night. He could not get on in the game, you know. It was shocking, really, on their behalf. And I mean, but I don't think Inter Milan have much of a hope in that final. I think City will actually blow them away, you know. Unless now, you never know. Never know. Anyway, before we get started on the agenda, I just want to put up a channel message here. Oops, where's it going? It's something wrong with the message. These aren't showing for me for some reason. Oh yeah, it's across the bottom there. It's across the bottom. Yeah, sorry. Everyone hit the like button and subscribe and get your super chats in to get your point across at the top of the list. We really appreciate it. Help us to grow. And we have lots of things happening during the summer. There'll be a whole new outlook, a new vision for this when the new season starts. So watch this space. Anyway, carrying on with a bit of depressing news. PSG have been in contact with Harry Kane's entourage over potential summer swoop as the Parisians Premier League raid continues. Now, I'm taking this with a pinch of salt because I read somewhere else that PSG are not interested in Harry Kane because they can't spend any more money because they've overspent. So, what do you think, Ali? Is this just another lazy day at the journalist, just putting out a story to fill the pages rather than having any accuracy behind it?
Yeah, well, full well that Philip, that they drum up everything to try and get Harry Kane, prize him away from us, and they'll bring up any old rubbish to do it, So I just take that with a pinch of salt, like yourself. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I'm still hopeful that I think a lot will depend on whoever comes in to manage Tottenham. But if Harry Kane buys into who comes in, I think we will still have Harry Kane next summer, next season. But it's become an annual event now. Is Harry Kane staying? Is he going? It's getting boring, to be honest with you.
So boring.
It is boring, and I think we'll not give that one any more time than it deserves, which is precisely nothing.
Give that the thumbs down.
And here we go. This is another comment, Ben Kaufman. Instagram admin bragging about how we won the FA Cup 32 years ago. Jesus. Oh, my God.
I was at that cup final as well, Ben, and I remember it very well. That's the Gaza one where he injured his knee.
Broke should have been sent off in all reality, really. But damn lucky to be on the pitch.
You know what? It's such a shame, Philip, when you think about it, that we haven't got there for 33 years now, isn't it? It was 32 years.
Yeah, we can't do it this year. From a team that won the FA Cup with, not monotonous regularity, but, the 70s was the only decade we didn't win it recently.
I know.
60s, 80s,
well, we won
90s.
the League Cup twice, didn't we, in the 70s?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. No, but if that's all they have to brag about 32 years ago, Jesus, I don't know.
I know.
Not good. Anyway,
yeah.
Peter Emma saying City were awesome last night. They were, and they took the foot off the gas in the second half. I mean, I don't know what they could have done if they'd really gone for it.
Yeah.
I have
Once
to say
they got
now,
that third goal, it was all over. Because if Real Madrid had scored when they were up for about 10 minutes, they were up only. Realistically. Yeah.
But you know what the highlight of the game for me wasn't any of the goals. It was about the one of the two attacks that Real Madrid had in the first half when Vinicius Jr. was up against Kyle Walker, and Kyle Walker skinned him. That guy, unbelievable pace. Now he's not like Kyle Walker's no chicken. He's getting on a bit, but his pace is unreal. And really, he should have got in for athletics. He'd win a gold medal for in the Olympics if he went in for it.
And really not only in pace, Philip, he's got really good upper body strength.
Yeah.
Because he can knock a player off. However big he is, he can knock them off. And Benzema was very disappointing as well.
He was. He
didn't get into the match at all, really.
He was poor. He was poor.
Yeah.
And Audio Artisan is saying Luton have a good striker. Adebayo reminds me of Ivan Toney. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've just when you mentioned Ivan Toney there's a lot of criticism going around this morning about his 8-month ban, seeing as 2.5 months of that is during the summer when he wouldn't have been playing anyway. So effectively it's only a 5 or 6 month ban, I'm just glad he's not playing against us next week or next on Saturday.
True. Let's
see what else we've got here. This is from Ben again. I wonder what Slot will do with this squad. He's used to young guns who will work their fingers to the bone. He'd be a breath of fresh air. Ben, I'm beginning to think Slot is the man for us. I think, I don't know, Ellie, what you think there, but I think from all I can read, that all the signs are that he could well be a very, very strong candidate for us. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Chris in our WhatsApp group put De Zerbi in, and he would be my first choice if he was available, but he's not available. He's not going to come. He's not going to leave. But Arne Slot, I really like what I've read about him and the way he's transformed. He used only 4 of the players, original players, and he made the team, which is fantastic because he believes in youth as well. He believes in players that work hard, and he won't take no slackers, which we need. We need to kick up the jacksie, don't we, Philip?
Oh, big time.
We really
Absolutely big time. And that's another reason, like you mentioned a very interesting point there. He kept only 4 of the squad, which means the likes of Alfie Devine and the Will Lancashire and players like that will be itching and looking to get into the first team squad if a guy like Slot arrives. Because let's face it, we need to get the clean out of the dead wood. Now I don't have to mention them. We know who they are. The fact that one of them has been discussed to get a 3-year contract at the moment is an absolute joke. And I hope to God he doesn't sign it before the new manager comes in, because I know if Arne Slot comes in, Eric Dyer will be gone. There's no doubt about it. He will not stick for that, So another thing too, people say, "Oh, why would he leave a team that's just won the title? To come to a thing like Tottenham." These guys have ambition. They like a challenge, and he might be thinking in Holland, right? Okay, I won the league with Feyenoord this year. Ajax are going to regroup next year and come at us really strong. So the like me doing it again is probably very slim. So I'll go somewhere else and see can I make a name for myself, and that's why I think he will come. Plus, it's only supposed to be £6 million of a severance fee with Feyenoord, which is buttons compared to some of the things you see been mentioned for other managers, So
I like the way Feyenoord play, because I've been watching them. What they do, they don't do long balls. They do very short passes, very quick passes through the middle. They work the wings, but they more go through the middle, which I like, because if we get someone like Maddison or Ward-Prowse in, we can link our play, and then Harry will be free. He doesn't have to do that role anymore, because it knackers him out. And he's getting on a bit, Harry, now. He's 30, so we need him to be up front scoring the goals for us. Yeah.
And just we're on the managerial thing, it's nothing to do with Slot, but I read an article this morning where Xavi Alonso has committed himself to Bayer Leverkusen, and the strap line on the article was what was it? Critical loss for Tottenham, or something like shocking news for Tottenham. I read down halfway through the article, and about 3 paragraphs down, it says, he wasn't really a major candidate anyway. So why is it a shocking loss for Tottenham? He wasn't even one of the leading candidates, I tell you, if I was in a room full of journalists for 10 minutes, I'd tell them a thing or two, because I just feel they're just easy way out all the time. No thought and no research behind what they put into their articles a lot of the time.
I think they sit in a room, Philip, and say, what rubbish can we make up about Spurs now?
Yeah, I know.
They just make up as they go along.
So there was something on Sky last week that they left Harry Kane off a list of leading goal scorers or something. It's just I'd say put down to either laziness, bad research, and disrespect. Really, you're probably the most disrespected team in the Premiership. I keep ranting on about it, but I just feel so sad about it. Like, teams like Manchester City can do no wrong. Teams like Brighton can do no wrong. And okay, fair enough, they deserve it. But why do we deserve all this frack that we get? Anyway. We'll move on with this one. This is Tequila against the City going to do the treble. Yeah, I think so. I can't see anyone stopping them. And Colin disagrees. He says no. Slight master of the FA Cup final there. I think I'll tell you, United would really want to be on their game to stop City that day, Colin.
You know what I was thinking this morning? I was thinking if we got through that AC Milan game, we could have been in the Champions League final facing Man City. So...
Yeah, that's a sobering thought, all right.
We only had to put 3 more good performances in to make it.
Yeah.
But it was.
And we didn't we actually ran up the white flag in that second leg against AC Milan. I mean, if Ryan Mason had been in charge, I wonder would we have gone for it? Take off as Aaron Lennon said it after that charity game on Sunday. All Spurs need is someone to tell them take off the lead. Let them at it. Let them express themselves. Their attack. We've got a great attack, but they've been held back by the defensive frailties.
Yeah.
But he says let them at it and let's see what they can do. Okay, we might lose 6-5, but at least we'll score 5, and it'll give us hope for the future.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tequila saying, laugh, Colin, yeah. And he's saying, rooting for you. Okay. Now, let me see what else we got. Are
you frozen, Phil? Right, I can't take over the chat, but wait till Phil comes back. But I'm rooting. Do you know what? I'm in two minds about that Man City game because Pep Guardiola, I don't particularly like him, and that would sit well with FTSN column, because I don't know, there's something about him that I don't like. I don't know what it is, but I can't put my finger on it. But you know what? It's going to be a really good, interesting Champions League final, I believe, because that Inter Milan team, they can do a bit of shithousery, and they've got Lukaku up front who can hurt any team on a good day, So, yeah, we'll wait for Philip to come back. But anybody who wants to join us can, I don't know if the link's in the chat, but either way, I'll carry on. But I just feel Spurs, I think we have to really shake up our season next season and bring in some youngsters, show them, if we do get Arne Slot as our manager as well, show them that we can give youth a try as well. So I'd really, really like that because there's some brilliant youngsters coming through. And I'd love to see Alfie Devine, especially. I know that would sit well with all the Spurs fans out there because he's one of those players that he's a very clever player. He's very intelligent. Can pass the ball very well. He's gets about the pitch a lot as well, box to box. He's one that I think should deserve a chance. And even Scarlett, if we get him back from Portsmouth, I think he should be given a chance as well. Because Richie, he's not quite done it. Maybe he's got a point to prove next year. You never know. I was just talking about the youth there, Philip. That's okay. Let's carry on.
I'm sorry about that. I have the for anyone that's interested, I have got the new Starlink internet system, the Elon Musk one,
right?
And I've had it for 3 weeks, and it's been absolutely perfect. That is the first time it's dropped in 3 weeks, and it had to happen during the show, but it only lasted a few seconds, But,
that's true. I kept it going though.
A good girl. I'm a fan of Elon Musk, by the way. It's just he has a good internet system. But anyway, we'll go back to the
good electric cars as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, I have an electric car, but I don't have a Tesla. I have a Kia.
No.
Now, listen, a few more comments here about from Peter M about Slot. My Dutch mate who's big into football says Spurs would pull off a coup if we got Slot. He's very highly rated in Holland. Yeah. Daniel Levy, if you're listening, you know what to do. Hop on the Rotterdam there and sign them up.
That's right.
And the disabled team is saying, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're all good, Ben Kaufman. There you go.
Lovely.
And Lee Statham is saying, how are you, Colin? And David Clark from Leicester. I'm sitting on my patio with a cup of tea and some cookies to dip. That sounds like a perfect way to spend the afternoon, David.
That's the way to do it.
It certainly does. And let's see now. I've got a few more then before we move on in the It's great to see all the comments coming in there, folks.
Lovely.
Really good. Yeah. And they're actually coming in so hard now. I have to move back up the screen to get them here. So
yeah, that's all right. That's our support. We
really
appreciate all your comments as well, guys and girls.
Ben is talking about one of the youth players, Alfie Dorrington, these minutes in the team. He will be a proper player. Yeah. If you saw the run he made in the under-18 final, I think it was unbelievable. Great guy. That's the type of thought we'll give minutes to if he gets in the job, And Lee Statham, I'm okay. Now, this is from Callum again. The Dutch league is underrated. Yeah, it's not as high quality as the Premiership, but some great football to watch. True enough, yeah. It is.
technically they're
very
fantastic.
yes,
brilliant. The Dutch
technically
players.
very good. And David saying, Levy has sent me an email regarding NFL tickets for my One HOTSPUR membership. I've cancelled mine. Really, Levy. Probably hasn't filtered through to him, David. You know, that's one thing. We're going to doing a podcast later, and one of the subjects is going to be the horrendous increases in the One HOTSPUR membership fees.
Yeah,
totally unjustified, totally badly timed. I mean, at a time when everyone's on their uppers with mortgage increases, price increases, everything, and he goes and puts up the price of a membership it's costing him nothing really, by 20%. It's an absolute joke.
There was a shout out about that as well, Philip. Just to add to that, on social media streams, that people saying that they're trying to weed out the working class people, you know, with all the high prices, and just have middle classes there who can afford it, because they're pricing out the people that are really on a low budget as well, who, you know, they pick their matches, and if they get the One HOTSPUR membership, at least they've got a choice, you know, whether to buy a ticket or not. But with that going up as well, with the cost of living crisis, it's not right. It's not right what they're doing. It's really disturbing.
So what do they want to do? They want to fill the ground with a load of hooray Henrys who walk into the stadium at 5-3 to write who we playing today. That's the type of crowd that's going to be coming in.
They don't even know.
Not the flat cap army, as we call them, that used to used to populate the terraces during the 70s and whatever, you know. And the thing that bugs me most about the Spurs and One HOTSPUR membership, it's this thing they call it a CRN number that you have, right?
Oh no.
Client's reference number.
Client.
Can anyone tell me why that should not read supporters reference number?
Yeah.
Because are we not classed as supporters anymore? We're just classed as clients, and that's something that should be addressed, you know?
Do you know what? I'm going to phone the Grand later to the ticket office and tell them that.
Yeah, because I mean, we're supporters. We're not clients. We're not clients.
Yeah, I'm going to give them
solicitors have clients. Accountants have clients. Football club have supporters. So why are we being designated as something that we're not?
Yeah.
Anyway, Peter M is saying the usual medium narrative about Spurs is always negativity. Even when we're doing well under Poch, it was always what's wrong, no, what's right. I'll take that. The point I'll take there is that they told us that we bottled the league in 2016 to Leicester, despite the fact that we never led the league for 5 minutes that entire season. Arsenal led the league for 93% of this season, and they're getting the pass from a lot of people.
Yeah, they're getting
because they're a young team.
Back.
Yeah, pat on the back, you know.
Yeah.
So
the media darlings.
Oh, absolutely. And David Clark is saying journalists just sit in the pubs drinking whiskey and making up stories. I'm not going to disagree with you, David. I'm not going to disagree with you.
No.
Ben is saying we would never have beaten Inter with their front line. Lautaro is a monster. Well, that's true. That's true enough, you know. But again, I don't see Inter really. Maybe they will. Maybe they could, the final could be a great leveler. But I can see City winning that same.
Our front line, we've got Kane. They haven't got no one like Kane.
No,
even what's his name, Lukaku. He doesn't come near the amount of goals that Kane scored.
No. Or the number of games he scores it in, which is another thing that Harry's got a record for.
That's right.
And let's see. Now, just keep going here. Again, thank you very much for all the comments. It's really good.
Lautaro, doesn't he? And he's after Højbjerg, I hear. That's what I read.
He wants Kane anyway, apparently, if you could believe it.
Yeah,
you know?
He's going to take two of our best players, in my opinion. Højbjerg's one of them. I know it ain't a lot of fans' opinion, but it is mine.
So I'm just going to run some of these comments again. There's so many of them. If we say them all, we'll be here all day. So I'm gonna show them all up. I'm just going to read out the starred ones that we can just keep an eye on, you know.
Yes.
And Peter Emerson, absolutely, Ellie. We could have easily beaten AC if we bothered. We didn't bother.
I know. We were at that match, weren't we, Philip?
We were.
It was so dead. We tried to lift them, and then on the pitch was dead. It was literally they didn't try.
But they just seem to be restricted. They were scared to have a goal, except in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Harry Kane had a header that he maybe should have scored with, you know.
Yeah, he should have.
But anyway, Pep is the goal. It's hard to disagree with that, really, you know. It really is hard to disagree with.
That's because I said that I don't particularly like him. There's something about him. You know, when you see somebody, Philip, and you get that vibe off them. I just don't like, especially when he's in interviews, he talks under his breath and he's very.
I don't like the man at all. I don't like him at all. In fact, neither does Colin. But then again, coming from a Manchester United fan, that's probably quite a reserved comment. He doesn't do anything.
He's very arrogant, and I don't know. He's just the way he talks as well. He just gets on my nerves.
Yeah, I know. But I suppose when you think about it, he can pick and choose his teams. He'll go to the team to have the money that can make him successful. So that's what he's done, And Pep is the greatest coach of all time now. Well, I suppose if he wins the Champions League again, he will be.
Put him into Coventry and see if he does the same.
Exactly, yeah. Put him at Accrington Stanley or someone like that, when he's got a budget of 50 grand for the year.
He'll improve them.
It's okay when you've got billions. When you've got billions to spend, there's no problem there. But a good manager is like the likes of the guy that's brought Coventry up from the bottom, but working on a shoestring. I have more admiration for guys like that than I have for big boys like Pep. Anyway, Mia's saying, afternoon, everyone. How are you?
Afternoon, Mia. I'll catch your show later, Mia. I didn't catch it in the morning, but I'll watch it back. Nice one. Right.
Colin is telling Ben to wash his mouth out.
Right. Go get some Listerine. You need a good wash.
Exactly. And Tequila is more or less agreeing what we're saying. Once Pep wins the league with a team like support the Porto, maybe so. Yeah. That's it.
It's all opinions, isn't it? At the end of the day, we respect everybody's opinion.
It is. And Peter Emma said, my take on Pep is he's on the verge of abusing everyone around him. It takes a lot of energy to control himself. Yeah, that's true. And Ben is saying again, there's a reason the best teams want him. The cream rises to the top. Yeah, I suppose that's true in a way.
They trust him, don't they? Because he's done it. He's done it everywhere.
Yeah, well,
he's been.
Done it before. Yeah. And Mia saying, "Hey, disabled team and Peter, I hope you're both well." Yeah. So now we're just going to move on to another little thing here. Now, we've actually discussed, I think, about the Xabi Alonso being a huge disappointment at Tottenham. It's not a huge disappointment. Now, this is one thing I want to move on to is I mentioned already. Ivan Toney banned from 8 months over betting. He got away lightly enough because I think, if I remember correctly, Joey Barton got a similar ban there when he was playing for Burnley. I think it was 13 months or 16 months or something, And the fact that Tony's ban is effective yesterday, which means from now until, what are we talking, middle of May, 3 months of that really is not a ban at all because the football season's nearly over. Yeah. So effectively, he's been banned for 5 months, which is...
Joey Barton's got a very checkered career, the way he's on the pitch and off the pitch. Did you see that interview that he did in France and he started speaking in a French accent?
No, I didn't actually, no.
You've got to catch that one, Philip. He's so hilarious.
Oh, right, okay. Joey Barton speaking French. He probably sounded like the policeman in Hello, Hello. Remember that French series?
I know.
Couldn't get the English out right.
Yeah, he's actually speaking English, but with a French accent. It's so hilarious.
God,
it's amazing.
Taking the piss out of them. Yeah,
I know.
Oh, dear.
I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, enjoy that.
I will. Yeah, but Brentford's Tony, it might be the tip of an iceberg, because he can't be the only one doing it. There must be others. No. I would imagine other players have done it in the past. They just
made the mistake of getting caught. That was his problem.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, there's an awful lot of these young footballers. Maybe a lot of them have left school early. They've been talented. They've been picked up by clubs. They're earning 50, 60 grand a week. Yeah. And they're attracting a kind of like Dele Alli be a case in point, so-called friends that lead him up the wrong way. And, and that's to say, I'd say you're probably right, Ali. I say there's probably an awful lot more footballers are doing the betting thing, and we'll see if there's a knock-on effect from the Tony thing. Foolish thing to do. I mean, you could lose your career over it. Really.
Yeah.
It's not good. And this has come back. Big Sam is better than Pep. My source, Big Sam.
It's true. Yeah. We've all seen the interview, haven't we?
Yes. I don't know.
what he said, Philip, right, just to butt in, sorry to butt in,
No, go
he
on.
actually said that he has got experience, which is true. He said he's got as much experience in football than all the rest of the big coaches, which is true. He just said that, you know, he is as good as them, but he hasn't proved that.
Yeah,
The
he's
proof
been
is
good
the
at.
pudding if they give him a top job. But who's going to give Sam Allardyce at his age? Maybe when he was young. But even then, he didn't get a top job, did he?
No.
The only top job he's got is England, and he muffed that one up
with that one up, yeah.
when he got caught.
He's probably on quite a hefty bonus if he can keep Leeds up, you know, but he is only a temporary stopgap measure there, you know. And it's ironic that we're playing Leeds on the last day of the season with Robbie Keane involved with Leeds setup. You know,
I know. I saw him on the bench.
I'm worried about that game. I really am worried about it because I think Leeds, there's two Leeds teams, the one that we can beat easily and the one that will beat us easily. And I'm just, the crowd getting behind them that last day, it's going to be a very difficult game for us, especially if we need something to get into Europe. That's going to be the crux. The team are going to have to turn up on that day, you know.
True.
As we know, our team hasn't turned up too much lately.
The game at White Hart Lane was an exciting one, and they deserved to win that one.
Yeah, 4-3
we won. Bentincourt was playing that day. He was on one.
That was the last game. That was the last game for the World Cup. That was the last game for the World Cup break. Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
that was a good game. Funny, we played in the last game before the break and the last game of the season. It's quite ironic that.
Yeah.
And just going back on the transfer end of it again, Tequila is asking, would you sign him as a cut price now as Kane replacement? I think that's Lautaro they're talking about there, but I can't see
Tony or Lautaro. I think Lautaro. I think he might be going to Chelsea because I think Poch wants him. He's already touted him, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, I doubt he'll leave.
I'd take Tony though. You know, because Richie, I don't know about Richie. He's one of those players. He hasn't hit the ground running, has he, this season? He's had a very checkered season, and it's not worked out for him.
Well,
that doesn't mean he can't have a good season next season, because he has got skills, the boy.
Oh, he has.
He's just got to get his mindset proper, because he doesn't. When I saw him against what match was it? Not Man United. The last match we played. I saw him against one we lost just recently, and he didn't look interested. Against Liverpool, when he came on, he looked interested. He looked really up for it. Yeah.
Maybe as an ex-Everton player.
Villa, that's it. Well, I wouldn't remember. Against Aston Villa, he just wasn't at the races.
He wasn't at the races.
He looked disinterested. Yeah.
He's been classed as the flop of the season by some journalists. But again, it's easy to do that when he only has one goal in the Premiership. His best part of the season was actually in the World Cup for Brazil.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and, played brilliant.
Like we can hope that I hope that it's not a knee-jerk reaction that we sell him in the summer. I think he's worth keeping. I think he will be. You know, he will be a good player. Not everybody can do it in the first season, you know.
I know.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one, you know.
Yeah.
And this is another thing about Ivan Toney. You know, Toney has shot himself in the foot with this because he is now to wait another season before he can move on. Brentford will be fuming. He scored 20 goals this season and should be a 60 million player. That's true. Yeah, like if he can't play again until February now, or whenever, or January, 8 months from now, or January or February. Yeah, good point, actually, you know, good point.
Yeah, no one's going to buy him just to put him in their training squad.
No, that's true. He can train from September, apparently, but he can't play until the 8 months is up, you know.
Yeah, he just can't play any competitive match. So, like, if there's a friendly arranged, is he allowed to play in a friendly?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That would be interesting.
Good point. I don't know about that. And Peter M is a very good point, and this is something that I think should be. I think it has been addressed. I think betting companies are no longer allowed to sponsor teams from a couple of seasons down the road, anyway. But Tony's betting is not a good look. But his team is sponsored by a betting company, so it's all a bit two-faced. As that said, players can't use inside knowledge to get an edge and have to be punished. True. But you know, like if you count up the teams that are sponsored by online betting companies in the Premiership, it's a lot of them. But I think that's all got to go now in a couple of seasons' time. So they're going to have to look for new sponsors. You know.
Yeah, true.
And then Tequila saying Newcastle, they're the team to watch this summer. They're going to be buying everybody because they've plenty of money. Yeah. Big Sam's biggest club. I think that's probably meant by Newcastle there.
Yeah.
And let's see. Sorry, this thing's have backed up on me a bit here now again.
I hope Newcastle make Europe, the Champions
Oh,
League.
They will.
They deserve it.
They will. But David Clark saying that's why Levy is giving Dyer a new contract, because he's only on 72 grand a week. So Levy will save the money for a top centre back by only giving Dyer a small pay rise. Oh, no. Don't want to see Eric Dyer in that team next season. Yeah. John Fitzpatrick saying Kane, Son, Basuma, and Porro keep the rest. The rest can be sold, simply not good enough. Bentancur, you have to add to that. I'd class Royale to it as well, and Kulu. Now, there's a few more, John, I think we would keep. There certainly are a few that we want to get rid of, but I wouldn't be that harsh. I can't see us making 7 or 8 signings. 3 or 4 is probably going to be the max.
I'd keep Romero as well, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
You just need somebody by him to
calm him down a bit. Just calm him down a bit.
Teach him the ropes. And also, if you've got an experienced centre-back by you, right, who can tackle, because Dyer doesn't tackle. He just doesn't. I've looked at his stats.
Stands off and looks at them. Yeah. He stands off and looks.
He needs someone up by him.
Yeah. Colin is surprised Chelsea didn't go for Big Sam when they were fighting for Prem survival. Dermot saying, congratulations to Chelsea on avoiding relegation this season. You know? That is one of the shocks of the season, that Chelsea have been so poor with all the money they've spent. And that's why I think Pochettino wants his head tested if he goes to that place. Because if you think Tottenham is bad, I mean, Chelsea is Billy Smart's circus. It really is, you know.
True. It's nice to say that as well, isn't it, Philip? Get it out there.
Isn't it? Yeah. I mean, they're 14 or 15 points behind us, and but look how bad we're supposed to be, you know. Oh. If Colin is saying, Peter, I have no trouble buying this window because he's missing half the season. Yeah, that's Tony, I think we're talking about there. And yeah, Tony.
Ivan Tony. He's been a naughty boy.
He has. Now, this is an interesting one from Terry Wright. He's saying, it's funny how everyone is praising Man City now and they've forgotten about the 115 financial fair play breaches that has no doubt contributed to their amazing success. No doubt about it. They got there by flouting the rules, breaking the rules, bending the rules, done everything with the rules except abide by them. So we have to take that into consideration, you know. The thing is, you can't blame the players for that. The players go out on the pitch to do a job, and they've done their job. The problem with Man City is in the boardroom and the administration end of it, and they've got good solicitors because they got away with the last ban. Remember, they were banned from Europe, and they got it overturned. So
they did.
Money talks, and they can afford the best, and they will never ever be held to account for their misdeeds. I guarantee you that, because they'll get off it every time. Whereas if you get a small club that does that, if you say the likes of Scunthorpe United, for want of that, did something like that, they'd be relegated straight away, no question asked, and they wouldn't be able to afford to fight it. So that's the problem.
Yeah. True.
There's one they're saying Martinez is tailor-made for Chelsea because he couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because in the World Cup, he wasn't very impressive. I must admit, I didn't think he was all that in the World Cup. You know, he was okay, but I think Alvarez and Messi carried the team, and Alvarez was very impressive from Man City.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he came on and scored last night as well. He's only on the pitch 5 minutes.
Nice goal too. But then again, that was an injury time to get the game was over at that stage.
Yeah.
And Terry Wright saying they said they did play wonderful football last night. That's a seduction of money, I reckon. We forget what counts. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, if they hadn't spent, I don't know how many million on all those players, you know. Although the one player that didn't play that well last night, never got looking, was Haaland. They actually looked after Haaland pretty well, apart from a couple of chances that he had, you know.
He had 3 chances, and the goalie, Quatar, made 3 fantastic world-class saves, especially the first one. That was brilliant.
It was.
Yeah.
David, now you've been a bit harsh here. We're playing Leicester City in the pre-season tour, 2 championship sides up against each other. Right. One championship side, anyway, at least. I don't think Leicester are going to survive, to be honest. And Tony will not be involved in any footballing activities. No, I don't think he can be.
That's true.
Proper order, too,
He'll have to keep himself fit, though, won't he?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's it.
He'll have to turn up for training on time and everything and be disciplined.
Exactly. And Corey Boy is saying loads of different ones he's done. He's not even done a cover song for Daniel Levy to Robbie Williams. Let me entertain you. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't mind seeing the Spurs team do from now on, is entertain us, because it hasn't been entertaining this season, really. Yeah. It's not been good. Apologies if I'm missing out some of the comments here, but there are so many of them, really. I'm just trying to pick out the ones that are relevant. Chem62 is saying, will Bentancur come back the same player? It's a long time out. It's a worry. I see he's doing some ball work at the moment, so maybe November is a bit a bit of a long time. He mightn't be out that long, because we haven't really been the same since he left, really. Game against Leicester.
I posted him doing some keepy uppies, and you can see that the muscle mass has gone from his leg.
He needs to build that up.
He needs to work on that. He'll build it up. They'll give him some nice protein.
Yeah. And the disabled team is saying, I keep hearing about putting someone next to Romero to calm him down. I don't know if Romero would listen, especially if he's a World Cup winner. He does need someone to make a good ball playing centre back alongside him. He doesn't have one at the moment. Put his
mum and dad there.
or else they can stop feeding him raw.
Every time he does something naughty.
They can stop feeding him raw meat before every match.
Yeah, don't give him any steak. Argentinian steak is too good.
Oh God,
makes him go hyper.
Exactly. This is Peter M has made a comment that I think a lot of Spurs fans will actually agree with this. This is my guess is that Poch won't solve Chelsea's problems. It will go the way of many Chelsea managers out the door. I think that's what will happen. That's why I think he should avoid. Like, I would say the Real Madrid job could come up in the summer now with now that Ancelotti's lost the semi-final, and he should hold on for that.
It is a poison challenge job. It's like the Watford job, isn't it? On a par.
Well, it's Watford light, really. Not quite as bad as Watford, but
not quite as bad.
They sacked someone this week as well, didn't they? Or last week? So as the week goes, Watford nearly have as many managers as matches in the season. It's just crazy.
I know. And they're just Watford, for God's sake. Come on.
And Mia is saying probably something that a lot of us will agree with. As long as City stop the scum this season, I don't care cheats or not cheats. Well, I think we're glad they've stopped the scum. We'll leave it at that. They do cheat, but cheats prosper, it seems.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Mia.
And this is a column going back to say about Peter M. We have a pool at work, and I have Poch to be sacked before January. Yeah, I'd give him 6 months in the job. That'd be roughly bring it up to January. So yeah. And it's not. I hate to see the guy ruin his reputation playing for that crowd down the road. And Ben is saying, well, Martinez is the opposite of Lo Celso. Great for Inter and terrible for Argentina. Yeah. Lo Celso was the opposite.
He rubbish in the World Cup.
He was.
He had so many chances to score as well, Philip. So many.
By the way, Brian Daigle's in the house. Sorry, Brian. I think I saw a comment of yours going through there, but I don't know where it's gone. Apologies. It wasn't read out for any reason. It's just there's that many comments coming in, and I'm not that experienced at doing this end of it, so I lost it.
Put it in again, Brian.
Put it in again, Brian. I'll put it up. Yeah. Sorry about that. I just see. I should have said it earlier there, but I hope you're keeping well.
Yeah.
And Lockman saying, hi, everybody. Big up, Levy out. Yeah, there you are. And Jose Garcia.
Hey, Jose.
It's an afternoon, guys. What a lovely sunny day. Any good news for us? Well, apart from one more win and City win the title and Arsenal don't. That's probably about it, I think.
City. I'm wearing their colours today.
This is a good one from Ben. Ivan's only quote, my biggest mistake was betting on Arsenal to win the league. Good stuff, yeah. But we knew this was going to happen. We all knew Arsenal would bottle it. We all knew. And,
take that bet on Poch, Ben.
Very right. And Corey Boy is saying, "Should check him out. He's making me laugh in all those dark times." And no, it's not Spurs related. Where I am right now, yeah. Well, I think a lot of us would be glad to see the season over because it's been, it hasn't been a good season for us really.
Two matches and our stress goes away for at least
for a while. Well, when you consider we had our best ever start to the Premiership, and we ended up where we are, it's just not right.
Such a shame.
Romero needs a Rio or a Vidic type next to him. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, he does.
Strong and powerful, commanding.
Yeah, someone with leadership, a cool head that can help Romero come out of his shell. I'd say Romero's probably too much out of his shell. That's his problem. He's a very, he likes to, he's there. That's for sure.
I'll get you, my little pretty.
So what you're saying is Harry Maguire is the perfect fit. Now, that's a sales pitch there, Colin. I think you're trying to put words into our mouth. Although I must be probably one of 3 people on the universe that think Harry Maguire might not be a bad signing for Spurs, because I'm looking at his England performances rather than his United ones. He's not a bad player, and if you got him at the right price, but again, I'm probably on the limb on that one.
I don't think Manchester United will do a swapsy with Dyer, will they?
No.
No.
So, yeah. Tom THFC is saying Poch could have saved us. Maybe. Obviously, Levy didn't think that, but he didn't even approach him now. But if you can believe all the hype, And Corey Boy, you guys, you can keep him. I don't know who that refers to, but it's probably a centre back. Comments again. There's still loads of them coming in here. Let me see. David Clark is saying here. I don't think most fans don't know that Basuma had long COVID, which hits people really hard. And being a sportsman is even harder, so they need to give him some slack. Because I mean, I was at the Spurs Brighton game last season, and Basuma absolutely bossed it for Brighton. And he wasn't the same player when he came to us. So hopefully we'll see the best of him next season. He's back now. He came back against Sevilla there. So hopefully now. What do you think? Do you think Basuma can be a sleeping giant, if you like? He'll come good for us now under the right system and the right manager.
Yeah, because I heard him. I saw an article where he wrote on the Spurs website that he's really fit now and he's energized, and you could see that in the Aston Villa match when he came on for that cameo role. He came on and he did control the midfield much better, and we got back into the match. But I'm looking forward to Basuma because he's one of those players that are exciting to watch as well, and he's strong. His first thing is to get the ball forward. He doesn't do what Højbjerg Skip does and don't take the ball on the half turn a lot of the time, right? I'm looking forward to that, and to team up with Benny, because that would be a fantastic partnership. Even though I love Højbjerg, you can't say that he's better than Basuma, and you can't say he's better than Bentancur. No one would say that.
Like when you think about it, like we spent most of the second half of the season without 2 of our mainstay midfielders, Bentancur and Basuma. And we're not that far off. Like, you get the centre back position right and get the goalkeeper position right, and maybe another midfielder. I think we're not too far off being a really decent team again under the right stewardship, under the right manager. And hopefully that's going to be addressed fairly soon. And Corey Boy is saying we'd rather have Tinney from South Park than Harry Maguire. I think I asked for that.
On that long COVID thing, just to let you know, Ben Kaufman called that ages ago, because he was saying that he's got long COVID and that's what's affected him. So well done, Ben, for pointing that.
Ben. Yeah. Ben, you should apply for a job with the medical department at Tottenham because I think you do a better job than the ones that are there.
Yeah, you can make him a nice coffee.
Make him a nice cup of coffee when you're there. Yeah. And Colin again is saying, I will deliver in person and you can have them for the cheap price of a Mars bar. All right, okay, that's fine. Yes.
He's like their Maguire, it looks like.
I think it's
he's
Harry
like
Maguire he's talking
Dyer,
about there.
sorry.
You can see how high how such high esteem Harry Maguire is held in by the Manchester United fans. Good God, can't get rid of him quick enough. And Mia saying, "Blue Moon, I see you standing alone." Yeah,
I see you standing alone.
Yeah, David is saying that. Terry's saying that. Totally agreeing with David Clark. I think we'll see the best Basuma next season. He's a terrific footballer and will come good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is a thing about Poch now from Peter M. Poch has agreed terms with Chelsea. Yeah, I heard that. But as far as I'm aware, he hasn't signed a deal yet. So he can still go to Real Madrid if it's open. But it would be unusual for him not to go to Chelsea now. Well, until he signs the contract. This is why I'm beginning to wonder, like, the gap between him agreeing terms and signing the contract is a bit long for me. Normally, when you agree terms, you sign it there and then. Like, unless there's certain things that aren't sorted out yet, maybe they're bringing in all his own team with him or bringing in the backroom staff. Maybe he's okay, but the rest of them haven't been sorted authorized yet. So you wouldn't know what's going on. With that clown Bowley, you wouldn't know what the hell, you know.
Yeah, and you'll have to put up with Todd Bowley coming into the dressing room with his kids.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, probably. Can you play one of them the next game? You can't be any worse than the players you've got at the minute, anyway.
That Ted Bowley will probably say to Poch, "I won't come in, but he'll still go in."
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Mia is saying here. Oops, yeah. Sorry, Colin. I'm blue this season. Can't allow the scum to win the best of them in the FA Cup. I want Man United to beat them. They are now, Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, I'd like to see somebody else win a trophy this season other than City. Like, spread it out a wee bit.
Well, Man United have already won one, but I think I'd prefer Man United to win it, actually. I'm with Mia on that one.
But then the bragging rights should be 2 trophies each then for the season, for Manchester, Yeah. Well, I think the Championship and the Champions League, or the Premiership and the Champions League, slightly beats the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup,
There's a bit of in-betweeners where a little boy goes, Manchester, right? They're winning everything. Let us Londoners win something, for God's sake.
Yeah, well, of course, that was back back a few years ago whenever things was.
Except for Arsenal, of course.
Oh,
they counted out that equation.
Exactly. Terry Wright saying De Vries is available on a free in the summer. I prefer him over Maguire. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, agree. But De Vries would be a good buy. There's quite a few decent players out of contract this summer that we should be looking at them.
I hope Arne Klopp's got a few centre backs from Holland that he's tapping up as well if he comes over. Yeah.
Now, disabled team is saying, regarding Tony, do you think Brentford will suspend his wages to them now he can't provide a service to an employee? Yeah, that's a good point there. I don't know what contractually they're obliged to pay him or not. I don't know. Maybe some of the legal experts could come in and tell us about that. I'm not too sure. And Mia is saying Basuma and Benny will be so good in midfield. We can but hope.
Agree. That's what I just said.
Hope,
well, brilliant. Because Højbjerg, however good he is, he does hold up the play a lot. And I know he's made a lot of progressive passes, but Basuma's better. He is. He's more comfortable on the ball. He's better at moving. And, he can pick out a pass as well, just as good as Højbjerg can, but his all-round plays better.
Yeah, true. Plus, he'll have a half a season rest behind him, so he'll be fresh.
Yeah.
Colin was saying the disabled team. I don't think they can suspend his salary. I think that is, as he hasn't broken his contract with them. It's the FA rules that he broke. Yeah, true enough. But technically, I'd say that's a grey area now. To be honest with you, if Brentford didn't want to pay him, they probably might get away with it. But then he wanted to leave them then, so they probably won't do that. And Harry Wright is saying, I'd love to see a midfield trio of Basuma, Maddison, and Benny next season. That would be one of the best in the PL. Yeah, we're just missing that creative spark. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Maddison because they reckon he's a gooner and what have you. But I'll tell you, he picked a pass there for Leicester the other night against Liverpool, which was one of the best passes I've seen all season. Now, Leicester being crap, they didn't score from it. But, if he could do that sort of pass to Son and Harry Kane, we would benefit considerably from it,
because you noticed against Aston Villa, our passing was so delayed. And Sonny and Kane were making really good runs for them.
Yeah.
And they were just delaying the pass too much.
Yeah, I know. It's something we need to quicken up the pace. We're playing too slow. Playing too slow.
Yeah.
And Corey Boy saying all the plastic Man City fans giving large online, but it's the ones who don't shout their heads off that I respect. Yeah. I mean, I can understand the Man City fans giving it because, I mean, for years they were the poor relations of Manchester United, you know? And the last few years they've been able to, there's your cat again.
Oh, she's my ginger cat. He wants to get on the screen. He wants to be famous.
You know, so I mean, there are a lot of Man City fans, the old style Man City fans that I respect for. A lot of the new ones will just jump on the bandwagon, you know.
Yeah.
So, and Mia saying, I'm not a fan of Maddison, but I do get it. Yeah, I mean, this is where Daniel Levy's bargaining potential comes in. If Peter M, the price for Maguire's a Mars bar, you can sure Levy will offer a chocolate button, probably. Yeah. Or just a wrapper off the Mars bar. You know?
He won't be the big one either. It'll be the little one.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. And let's see now anymore. I think that's now. This is Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley will win at half time and be like, "We're only one down at the moment. We can go out there and get the next touchdown and field goal in the game." Yeah.
He just doesn't know it's football, does he?
No, not a lot.
It's not soccer.
And David Clark saying something funny going on regarding Poch and Chelsea. He would have signed by now if all was well. That's what I'm saying, David. I think you're on the same wavelength as me here. I see Madrid's coach getting sacked this week because he hasn't won the Spanish league either. See, Real Madrid, you don't win something in Madrid, you get sacked.
So,
yeah. Wouldn't it be absolutely brilliant? Okay, we take it that Poch isn't coming to us. We know that, right? Wouldn't it be brilliant if he turned around and told Bowley, "You can stuff your job. I'm off to Madrid." I mean, that would nearly make missing out on Europe palatable. You know, to see Pochettino shaft Chelsea, it really would. It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Come on, Poch, do it.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's something we have to watch out for tonight. West Ham will have you believe they won the World Cup and European Cup winners, bless them. AZ Alkmaar will be no dozers tonight now, and I think West Ham could struggle tonight. That being said, they'll probably get to the final and win it.
Yeah. What's the other one? Sevilla or Bayer Leverkusen? Sevilla, it's their cup, isn't it?
Yeah, they pretty much own it. Yeah, and plus they've got our connection down there.
Europa Cup? They're in the Europa Cup, aren't they?
Yeah.
What's
they
the
have Brian Hill and Eric Lamela in their squad as well. So
I know they're playing together.
And this is Jose saying Bentancur, Basuma, along with a couple of signings, and Skip and Devine learning their trade, and we will have some great midfield options to play a multitude of systems. Yeah. We don't want to be predictable like we were this season.
I think keep Højbjerg as a squad player, because if we're 2 or 3-0 up, he can come on to sort of seal that midfield, you know, because he'll do the legwork for you. But having him play every single game, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
he's a bit one-dimensional.
Well, he's played every game nearly all season. He's practically played every match this season, so he's got to be tired. He's got to be tired.
Yeah, and the fans were singing he's useless at Aston Villa. They were singing the song that he's useless.
It's not fair.
They posted it on Twitter. That's not right. It's not useless, but he's tired, the boy.
Yeah. David Clark is saying Maddison fans are killing Maddison. They see him as selfish, trying things to make himself look good for other coaches to see. He's talented, you know. I mean, we saw him play. I was over the Leicester game at the Spurs Stadium in September, and Maddison was for 60 minutes of that game was very good. Okay, the last 30 we just overran them, but he can pick a pass. He can pick a pass. That's what I just like to see, you know.
Yeah, and he can score goals. We don't have a midfielder who can score that many goals.
That's right. Yeah. And Peter Emma saying suspending Tony's wages would depend on the terms of his contract. More likely to be fined by Brentford. Yeah, more or less. Pretty much. I think that's probably it.
Yeah. Either way, he's still going to be a wealthy man, isn't he?
Yes, I bet. Yes. If
He's not
he
poor.
doesn't leave it all in the bookies. Now, this is a very, very amusing comment from Colin here. He says, my granddad used to say to me before he passed, the only reason there are Man City fans in the world is because they were too slow to get a United season ticket. Oh, I like it. I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I'll
Yeah.
have to put a red one on for next for column. I'll be wearing red for Man United in the FA Cup final column. There you go. That's the nearest you're going to get.
Oh, that was good. That's good. Right, I think lads, we're coming near the end here because we try to keep it pretty much around the hour mark. Just see if there's anything else we haven't discussed. Oh yeah, one thing that's going to come up on Saturday. Anyone that's going to the game, Harry's mural.
Yes.
Do you remember there was one, I think, of Ledley King or somebody up there. It's on the gable of one of the houses on the way up to the ground, quite close to where the guys have their stalls for the merchandise. Apparently, the mural of Harry Kane is a big completed there, and it'll be unveiled for Saturday. And I hope it's not to celebrate his last game at the ground. That's my only hope on that one, you know. And it's just it'll be. I'd say there'll be an awful lot of people stopping off to get a photograph taken with it on Saturday. But it's nice. The other murals were very good. The ones that I've seen already, you know. And I'm sure. I hope that the owner of the house that it's on is getting a good payday for it as well. So
yeah.
Listen, I want to apologize if we didn't read out your comments today. They were just absolutely flooded in here. And unfortunately, we normally have Dermot's away today. We normally have someone in the background sorting them out. It's kind of difficult to do it when you're actually presenting the show. And apologies to anybody, especially Brian Daigle, for not getting his comment read out. But certainly we'll get you the next time, Brian. And Ellie, thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed this hour. And I hope you did too. And we're back tomorrow again.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love all the people in the chat. They're brilliant, aren't they, Philip?
Aren't they? Brilliant. It really is. You know, it's like having a big chat in the room here. Everyone's together and having a talk. And we're all on the one. We're all pretty much on the one wavelength, you know. And let's say that we will be done. I say we're doing a podcast later on today. Again, it'll be about the increase in the One HOTSPUR membership fee, among other things, and it'll be out later on tonight. Hit the like button. It means an awful lot for our algorithms, whatever that means. And I'd like to thank everybody for being in the chat, and we'll be back again tomorrow about 1 o'clock. And then tomorrow is Friday, isn't it? Yeah. We'll also be doing a preview of the Brentford match, and then on Saturday we'll be doing the last watch along from the stadium this season. The following week against Leeds, I'm sure. But so let's hope we finish off with a bang. Need the 6 points to get into Europe. Let's get a new manager in. Let's keep the players we want, get rid of the ones we don't, and hopefully we get the new ownership is hopefully going to be on the agenda soon with the Qatari people. If they're not going to buy Man United, we'll welcome them down to us. And with that, Ellie, anything else to say? You want to say to anybody before we go?
Just I'm going to be watching that Newcastle and Brighton game because I think that's going to be a smacker. You know, I think it must be because I mean they've got all the skill in both teams, so I'm looking forward to that one, Philip. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice one.
And well, listen, we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Ellie, thanks again. And we'll see you all soon. In the meantime, as always, come on, you Spurs.
I'm on you Spurs.
Again. Just from this.